Hey, hello. How are you guys? Um, Getting ready to go into my city council meeting here. I want to read you the proclamation that the mayor of our town put out in regards to people taking part in candidates forums and in debates. But while you're at it, make sure you're sharing this out, like it, comment on it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you haven't joined the channel yet, join the channel. It helps me be able to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm still looking for a show producer to take that top level of support for the channel memberships. Yeah. So this is why I talk so much about think local, act local, and local activism. And you guys are going to get to see it live tonight as we go. So here's a proclamation that the mayor put out. Proclamation from Mayor Tony Archer. Candidates only, not write-ins, across the board, open forums, Q&A, meet the candidate and debates. They are not candidates of the true democratic election. So I want you guys to think about that. The mayor of tiny little Spring Valley, Minnesota, has declared that you are not a candidate if you are part of the democratic process, if you are a write-in candidate. And so we're going to go in there and we're going to address that. We're going to speak to that. And you guys get to watch that live. So it's going to be pretty boring for a few minutes. Probably aren't going to enjoy the opening part. But I'm going to go in and sign up. And you guys get to go with me. So make sure you're sharing this out. Let's make this a reality. Make it go. So here we go. Hey. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that he's quite quickly. He doesn't get to that point. Yeah, so they gave him a bunch of exercises to do. They said, hopefully this makes you feel better until you're 30. Maybe this will work.
How are you, Chris?
Yeah, so we're going to take off on
How you doing? I'm good. How are you? I need a fancy blue shirt like that.
I don't know, man. We had to pay for it ourselves. Actually,
No, trust me, I know.
the first ones we said, okay, everyone gets like twos, right? Whatever. And this is like, and then we're like, that's great. We want to bring it up yourself.
Okay. That's like when work says we provide your uniforms unless you want more.
Yeah,
And then it's like,
unless you want the nice boots.
yeah. It's like an employer now pays for half of my boots, and the cheapest that you can get is $100.
We got to be stealing already. Like, we're very good. Yeah. Yeah.
Busy? Not really.
Busy.
Just no time to do stuff, so. I'm way behind on content and scheduling and emails and research and you name it. I'm nowhere near caught up, so. How you doing, guys? Got Stephanie here, we got Hot Fan here, ABA's here. Good to get.
Please rise and join us in the pledge of allegiance.
I don't do that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll call the regular meeting to order of the Council of Spring Valley. Today is Monday, September 9th. Greg Brooks is absent, as well as Mayor Tony Archer. Therefore, myself, Luann Rustig, serving as Mayor Pro Tem, will be leading tonight's meeting. All other council members are present, therefore we do have a quorum. I think there's absences for staff as well. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of reconsidering the sewer credit. Second.
We have a motion and a credit, and a second to approve the agenda with the addition of reconsidering the sewer credit. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, please say opposed. Motion carries. Agenda is approved. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
It's like waiting to be
Do I have
said.
a second? Motion and second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, state opposed. The consent agenda is approved. Anyone signed up on the visitor sheet? Todd Key.
What is it? 3 minutes, right?
Yes.
3? All right. Thank you for this, by the way. Deb, you are amazing in response to emails, by the way. I just have to throw that out there. I've never seen that before. So you are quick. I want to read something because this has come to my attention over the last couple of weeks, and I think it needs to be addressed publicly because that's what the First Amendment is all about, right? Is redress of grievances. So it's come to my attention that a proclamation has gone out from the mayor, and I'm upset that he's not angry, but I wanted to be able to address it with him tonight personally here in an open forum. A proclamation went out from Mayor Tony Archer that, and this is how it reads: candidates only, not write-ins, across the board, open forums, Q&A, meet the candidate and debates. They are not candidates of the true democratic election. There's so much wrong with that. Mayor of any town, president of the United States, doesn't have the authority or the right or the rank within this nation to determine who is or is not a member of the democratic process or part of the democratic process. I ran for city council in 2000. When I ran, a sitting city council member had determined that they weren't going to run, but instead came back in as a write-in. I was told mostly because we had differences philosophically, and he wanted him to balance that voice out. And I welcome that. We should welcome anybody in this room who isn't able to get signed up, or maybe they haven't decided and they don't get a chance to sign up, to go in and take part of that write-in process. And for anybody, any member, elected especially, to say, you can't take part because we've determined you're not part of the democratic process, is actually stifling the democratic process. And that's not the place of any elected servant. And it certainly isn't the place of the elected servant, in this case the mayor, to tell private entities who they can and cannot have take part in a debate, whether it be something for Oktoberfest or any other event that's happening in town. And this information went out to numerous people. And I was originally going to refrain from speaking for, I'm sure, certain reasons would be clear because of a relationship. But then I heard it was numerous people had received this email. And that's, to me, is very disturbing. There is no place for that in the democratic process. We should be welcoming those challenges, whether it be a person we agree with philosophically or not. And I just find it wrong, and we need to make sure that, especially with two mayoral candidates sitting here today, going forward, that never happens again. That just can't. That cannot happen again. That's not all right.
Thank you for addressing the law. Next item, Rolling Hills Transit update.
May I distribute the material? There. Appreciate that. Just wide body through there. All right, we're good. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity, members of the council, for me to come in and present. My name is Will Spitzer, the director.
Oh, there we go. I didn't feel like hanging out in there tonight because mostly what ends up happening is I end up getting really amped up. But one of the individuals that's sitting there is a solid guy, has very good values when it comes to the Constitution, has very good values when it comes to the role of public servants. And I know that you guys could only see me, but there was, on the face of the mayor pro tem, it was definitely dismissiveness. That individual is not a fan of mine, and I have offered to have her on the show since she is running for mayor. And so, if you guys don't know, mayor pro tem is an assigned position of a city council member. So, in our case, the mayor can pick whoever he chooses to be his fill-in when he or she can't be here, and he picked this gal because it's a safe bet to know that that particular individual shares much of the same perspective as the mayor, and so he definitely is going to want her filling his shoes when he can't be here. The other two, one who I know has got a solid constitutional mind on him, I warned him I was coming down, and I also had warned some other people in town about the frustration I was having and why I was going to refrain from speaking because of a relationship that I have with someone who is not a city employee, but they happen to get grants from the city for a particular project that they are part of, and this person oversees that project, and I didn't want to mess that up for this individual. But I got to thinking about it when you say to yourself, look, I can't speak out because I'm going to try something here. If you say I can't speak out on this topic because I'm afraid that we're going to lose funding, I'm afraid that they're going to retaliate against this person I care about, or against this friend, or against this project, then they've won. They've absolutely won. And the sad part is that, frankly, people who are most affected by this, and one of them is a business owner who owns a really nice tap house here in town, they have been targeted by the city council, by the city, in particular by the mayor and his lackeys. And I know for a fact that they have written a letter saying, why are you targeting us? What's going on? Because we feel targeted. And they have every right to feel targeted. I know why what they're going through. I know why they feel what they're feeling. And they were one of the ones that received this letter saying you can't invite certain individuals to your open candidates forum for Oktoberfest because we don't deem them to be part of the democratic process. And that's a sign, like, when you guys hear me talk about being active locally and that we have to make the changes at the local level, going in there tonight was like pulling teeth. It's a really hard process, and it's a small council. I mean, when the mayor's there, that would have, and one of the others should have been there. So that leaves the mayor and 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, 5 council members with the mayor, I think. So they had a quorum tonight with the mayor pro tem being there, and then the other 2 council members. But it's very hard to affect change in even a small town. So if it's hard to affect change in a small town, how much harder is it going to be to affect change at a regional level, at the state level, or at the federal state level? And that's why it's so important that you guys do what you saw me do tonight. You have to go. You have to be the voice of change in your community. You have to be the person who speaks to these issues. And if we refrain, because there may be retaliation, and like I saw that Galveston Island Transparency is in here. We're in conversation. He's coming on the show next Monday, a week from today, and we're going to be talking about his history and his background and why he started doing auditing, if you will. And as you guys know, I prefer act localist or local activism. I coined the phrase accountability activists. But we're going to be talking about why he's an accountability activist. And all of you who are watching have seen his videos. And if you haven't, you should. And if one of the mods could put a link to Galveston's content in the chat here, he's a perfect example of why local activism is so important, why accountability activism is so important. It's because we lose control. How in the world do we get to a place in a city the size of Spring Valley, Minnesota? It's only 2,700 people. 2,700 people. Where the mayor feels comfortable issuing an official proclamation as the mayor, telling people that these people are barred from being part of the official democratic process. Let that sink in. A city of 2,700 people where everybody knows everyone. The mayor felt comfortable giving out a proclamation to private organizations, all the way from a historical society down to a local business alliance, to a local business, to a local candidate for city council, saying, this is my official proclamation that no write-ins are allowed to take part in these events. Now, burgeoning tyranny or not, let's just think about the violation just of the First Amendment, as I mentioned in there. The First Amendment gives us freedom of speech, so I can go to an event, like I did tonight, and seek a redress of grievances, right? But worse, and when I say worse, it might actually be marginally even more than worse. It may be the worst violation, as the mayor then telling these people, you cannot have these people at your event, by way of official proclamation. Now, what happens if he does? What if any of those organizations that I mentioned, any of those private entities, any of those private bodies had said to themselves, you know what, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do this event whether you want us to or not, and we're going to invite the write-ins. And the mayor said, no, I made it clear that you can't do that. Are there legal repercussions? But all of them changed their minds, is my understanding, and said, we'll comply. Or, and by way of one email I read, it said, how did it read? Oh no, we're not planning on inviting the write-ins because we understand that they're not part of the process. No, that's acquiescence. That's weakness. And that's how we develop this type of local tyranny. So don't think for a minute that tyranny just comes from the bad cops in your town. Don't think for a minute that tyranny comes from big city mayors or bad judges sitting on a bench somewhere because they're unaccountable. Don't think that tyranny just comes from the president that you don't like, or from the Congress that you don't like. Tyranny starts local. People develop the tyrannical mindset at a local level. That's where it begins, because all of us start local, right? We do. We all start local. There isn't a single person who runs for office that was born in the House of Representatives. There isn't a person who runs for office that was born in the White House already. We all start from a local perspective. And that's why paying attention to what's going on in your city, paying attention to city council meetings, paying attention to agendas, paying attention to referendums, paying attention to tax levies that are coming at you, all of those things are incredibly important for us to pay attention to. All of those things should be enough for us to sit up and say, time to speak. So maybe you disagree with me. I think we should end all public education, right? I'm a libertarian through and through. I think abolishing public education, along with a ton of other government entities, should go away. Public education should go away. For one, it's a tool of the enemy of freedom. They indoctrinate your children to think and obey, but not think, but they indoctrinate your children to not think, but merely to obey, right? But let's say you and I disagree on that issue. Maybe you're a big proponent of public education, of government-operated centers of indoctrination, as I like to call them. Maybe you are. And we hear that our local school board wants to do a levy referendum that's going to, cause our tax the tax levy for the school district to go up in a tiny town by $8.5 million over the next year and a half or 2 years, right? We go and we should speak. Now, I might disagree with you on your position of speaking on behalf of the referendum, but I will support you in speaking to that. And you should support me speaking against it. The problem is that we're all so busy. We're all so busy. I mean, honestly, we're entertained to death. And quite frankly, we are used to complying. And we're afraid that if we speak against something that the city wants to do, it could impact me in a negative way. What if they decide to come after me? Like, right? Like, you guys, all of you know, like, I have the Freedom Flock videos on here for a reason, because the city sent me a letter telling me I need to get a permit for my chickens. But first I have to get permission from my neighbors so that I can go down and then apply for the permit, and then the city may say no to that permit, even though I've gone and had to get permission from my neighbors. Well, why do I need to get permission from my neighbors to have something on my private property, especially when it's not hurting anyone? But what does everybody do? They want to do these things, so they say, it's not a big deal, it's $10, it's a couple of hoops I have to jump through, I'm just going to do it, I don't want the fuss. That's what they count on. They count on people not speaking out. They count on people just complying, because they know that people just don't want the hassle. They don't want the conflict. And you guys know me. Conflict doesn't bother me. And so if I could communicate anything to any of you as part of this tonight, it would be, get involved. Don't just see your involvement as being supportive. And by the way, if you want to support the channel, please do. I would love your support. It's very helpful when you guys support me, whether it's sharing the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, on the live stream, sending super chats, becoming channel members. That's great, and I want you guys to be comfortable doing whatever it is that you can do to be supportive. And I'm incredibly thankful for all of that kind of support, no matter what it is. But what I want from you more than anything is to go and do the local work. Go and do that hard job. Because I know it's tough. I know not everybody's comfortable speaking in public. Even people sitting on that city council have a hard time speaking in public. I understand it. But courage isn't doing what you're comfortable doing. Courage is facing those things that you're uncomfortable with, those things that you're afraid of or have a fear of, and doing them anyway, in the face of that daunting fear. Think of how much different our local communities would be. Think of how much different our counties and our state and our federal state would be if people would stand up to their fears, face those fears, and be like Bruce from Galveston Island Transparency. I'm not even kidding. Like, have you not seen his videos? Or like yesterday from the Vigilance Committee spotlight on Illinois Tyrant Hunter, or Flex from Flex Your Freedoms, you know, Bo from down in Waterloo, Iowa, just 90 miles south of me. Like, you don't have to be them. You don't have to be me. You need to be you. You just need to be you that's ready to take on local activism. Even in the face of the daunting reality that people aren't going to want to listen. They're not going to want to hear it. And, you know, and as I was talking with Galveston earlier today, like, it doesn't have to be harsh. He and I had a great conversation about that as we were preparing for the show next Monday. Like, confrontations don't have to be harsh. They don't have to be ugly. Do they turn that way? Yep, I've been on the receiving end of it, as has Galveston. As have others in the chat channel right now. But do something. We all know there's that old saying, if you see a problem, be the solution to the problem. If you see something, say something. We all know where that kind of came from. September 11th, right? But if you can be you, be who you are, and do these things, then we're going to make a change. That's what matters. So I'm gonna do this now, guys. I'm not gonna close up. I am gonna walk home, so I'm gonna take you guys with me on my walk home, so I can drop some of this. Oh yeah, everybody getting seasick? Okay, how's that? That's right. You have to be open to listen and not just bark. So we're gonna take this walk home, and then we'll say goodbye. This is why there's no TC and Friends Monday Night Musings, because I thought this was far more important. So do I want people to watch this and to have it, go viral for my channel? Yeah. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think that this was a shocking enough video that anyone is going to jump up to take part in saying, man, look at how great that was, because it was not the best public address I've ever given, to be honest with you. But if we can just get 5 or 10 people to watch and then have their mind changed and set in the course of direction that says, I can do that. I can even do it better than TC. And then they start showing up and they start recording and they start putting those videos out. That can ignite a brush fire of freedom. I love that Brian uses that phrase a lot over on Here's the Deal and High Impact Flicks. But if we can just get people to start igniting brush fires of freedom, just on our own, one-on-one, in conversation, through our little videos, like little out of the way, nobody channels like mine, that just maybe, we can actually save the Republic and reclaim it. And that's why I love the fact that so many of you guys have come over and started to watch on a regular basis, that you guys continue to give me, courage and encouragement, and you make me want to continue when more often than not I just want to stop. To be honest with you, I just want to quit, because even like this fight that I've been fighting with getting the information out about that trooper Shane Roper, it's been really really hard to keep going, because it's like no one's paying attention. And then Brian paid attention, and that really helped. So what'd you say there, Galveston? I've got a few videos I need to put out in the internet of being rounded and transparent, and we'll get very few views for that effort, but need published. Yeah, exactly. Those are the things that we need to put up. And as some of you know, I put up positive content too, where I have positive interactions with public servants. So yeah, it's having all of you guys stop in, like I've got Galveston's in here watching, AVA's watching, Chris is watching, Stephanie's watching. Stephanie's relatively new to my content. I just love seeing Stephanie, especially with all the work that she does over at modding over at Vigilance Committee, along with Jugs and everybody else. So it's you guys are important. You guys are far more important than I am. You want to see the girls? See the girls tonight while I finish up? Let's do that. Let's sit down and talk to the girls as we finish up. All right. Hi, girls. Hello. Oh, did we startle you? Hello. Hello. Everybody's out here tonight. Okay. So the black and gray one right back there, she's just now walking towards us. That's Faye. And that little black and gray one right there, that's Fayette. And the white ones are not leghorns, by the way. They're, I can't ever say their name right, but they're chalcadors. They're a hardy cold weather breed, which is good for here in Minnesota. And I'm still trying to figure out what those girls are, but those are the ones with the puffy feet. Those are I'll have to look it up again, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, did you guys see her jump up to take down that vine? Yeah, they're getting a little bit too big for their britches. So, no, there's a dragonfly flying around out here. They will chase the dragonflies if they see them. So, but yeah. So, this is my freedom flock. I got them so that I can start to have some self-sufficiency and some self-sustainability. And they have become cathartic for me. They have become... Bantam's a size. There's they're Brahmin chickens. Yeah, that's what it is. Some sort of booted Brahmins. That's what it is. Velociraptors for freedom. Yeah, that's right. They love listening to me talk, which it's nice to have that in your life nearby. Somebody that loves to listen to you talk. You can hear all their little coos. That's their way of talking about how content they are. I think we're going to let them out. You guys want to go with me to let them out? That you guys will love this. Let's go outside, girls. Come on. Come on. You want to come out for a while? See, look, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys want to come out for a while? Here we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. We got one more door to open. Come on, Faye. If you turn your back, they rush you. I wasn't planning on this tonight, but anyway, here we go. So, very important conversation, really, all this. Yes, there are a few feathers on the feet of the Brahmins. So, think local and act local. Become accountability activists, local activists, act localists. Join the channel if you haven't already. Share this out if you haven't already. Especially clip out the speech if you just want to do that and not my lecture here at the end. But yeah, let's change our country. Let's take back our republic. Fight for your freedom. It is yours. Fight for your liberty. It belongs to you. And until next time, Sic Semper, Tyrannus.